y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Boss Up and Glob with Lexi Sample. I'm your host, and today we're going to be getting into something that has been taking people out emotionally since the beginning of time. And honestly, it's been trying to take me out too. So today we're going to be talking about uncertainty, the unknown, the waiting season, the space where you're like, oh my God, can we get a hint or a sign? Because my brain is not doing well right now. Like, hello? If you ever waited for a text and convinced yourself that the relationship was over or the person hated you, this episode is for you, okay? If you've ever sat in silence and your mind starts writing an entire drama novel about your life, this episode is for you. And I want to make this clear from the start. You do not spiral because you're weak. You do not spiral because you're dramatic. You spiral because your brain is literally wired to freak out when it doesn't know what's coming next and what's going on. But the good news is you can totally train your mind and body to handle uncertainty in a healthy way. So let's talk about it. So here's the deal. Your brain is basically like a security guard that is way too invested in your life. Like the kind that it takes its job way too seriously. I know you've seen those people that take their jobs way too seriously. That's how your brain is. It is out here scanning for danger, like, way too quiet, way too unpredictable, not safe. We need answers, stat. Your brain does not care if you're happy, it cares if you are safe. And not emotionally safe, like healing era vibes. I mean, like survival, ancient survival. Because back in the day, uncertainty was dangerous. If you didn't know where food was coming from, that was a problem. If you didn't know what the weather was gonna be like, that was a problem. If the environment suddenly changed, you might not be alive tomorrow. So that was a problem. So the brain evolved to panic when it senses anything that is unpredictable in the slightest. Fast forward thousands and thousands of years now. You are spiraling because your boyfriend forgot to text you goodnight. And your brain is like, we're in danger. Something terrible is happening. And you're just like, relax. He's literally asleep. But your brain cannot tell the difference between a tiger in the woods and a delayed text message. It just knows unknown equals possible danger. So it tries to fill the unknown with a story that makes sense. And unfortunately, the story is usually the worst case scenario. So if you're ever wondering why your brain jumps straight into disaster mode, this is why. Your brain thinks it's helping you, like the friend who's supportive but super unhinged. That's what your brain thinks. Let's talk spiraling because spiraling is honestly kind of dramatic, but also very understandable when you know what's going on internally. A spiral usually starts with a physical sensation and you don't even notice it at first. Your heart does a little jump, it starts to race a little bit. You feel the boom, 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 and your stomach starts to feel weird. And sometimes you might feel a little like nauseous, but you get that weird feeling in your stomach, like that pit in your stomach. And then you get a little wave of, ugh, your chest tightens, your breathing changes. It's your body saying, something feels a little off here. And then your brain feels that sensation and goes, yes, this is bad. This is dangerous. Let me explain this for you. But instead of giving you an actual explanation, it gives you a full blown fictional story. You know how Netflix drops a whole season at once? That's your brain with a spiral. You go from feeling a little uncomfortable to imagining scenarios that have absolutely no evidence behind them. Your boss's tone was weird. Now your brain has you unemployed and living under a bridge. Your man texts, okay. Now your brain has you dumped, blocked, deleted, and already replaced. You didn't get a call back yet? Your brain is like, oh, they hate me. None of that is true. None of that is confirmed. But uncertainty triggers your brain to just guess, think, wonder, and your brain always assumes the worst because it's in survival mode. Assuming danger kept you alive. So, the spiral is literally just your brain trying to protect you using fear. The intention is good, but the execution is kind of insane. There is this concept in psychology called intolerance of uncertainty, okay? Which is just a fancy way of saying some people do not do well when they don't have a clear answer. And spoiler alert, most of us don't do well with it, including me, especially if you grew up around inconsistency, if adults around you were unpredictable, if energy in your home was based on mood, if you never knew what version of someone you were going to get, if your needs were sometimes met and sometimes ignored, your nervous system learned very young that the unknown is dangerous. So, as an adult, even if the situation is harmless, it's not that serious, uncertainty makes your body freak out. Your brain tries to solve uncertainty with control of the timeline, control of the outcome, control of the people, control of the narrative, control of the environment. But control does not actually make you safe. It just gives you that illusion of safety. Real safety comes from you trusting yourself to handle whatever happens. The emotional freedom, when you get to the point where you can say, I do not know what's coming next, but I know I can handle it. I have faith in myself to handle it. And that is when uncertainty stops running your life. I want to give you some examples because I do not do good with the unknown. I am super, super type A. Like when I'm doing something, I need to know the time, the location. Like I write my schedule out the day before, well, the night before. And I just need to know if I don't know a time of something, I'm not going. I need to know set plans. And I can't do that. Oh, let's just see how the day goes. Okay, but I'm not going. Like, I don't do good with the unknown. And even though that doesn't seem serious, it's just a time you're going somewhere. My brain just does not do well with it. No matter how hard I try to work on it, my brain does not understand. And let me try to think of another example. Like, if my boyfriend doesn't text me, good morning, like right when he wakes up and he starts going about his day, I'm like, why weren't you thinking of me? I should have been the first thought that pops into your head this morning. And my brain just gets so angry. And it's just like, it's the uncertainty. Like, why did he not text me right in the morning? Like, why aren't you thinking of me? You should be thinking of me. Like, you're my first thought in the morning. Why am I not yours? Like, that's how my brain works. Okay. And that's just not healthy. That's not good. I'm spiraling for no reason. I'm spiraling because I don't know the time of something. I'm spiraling because I didn't get a good morning text. Like, it's no need to spiral, but I can see and understand why my brain gets confused at the same time. But again, there's no need to spiral. Now we're gonna talk steps on how to stop spiraling. This is the important part, okay? This is what you need to save. This is what you need to practice in your life. So, the first thing is name the situation. You have to call out what is happening in your body. My chest is tight. My stomach feels tense. I feel shaky. Whatever the case may be, we are not talking about the story yet. We are talking about the sensation. Because when you name that sensation, you pull yourself out of imagination and back into your body. And your body is real. The story, the sensation, it's not. Ground your body. If your body thinks there is danger, your mind's going to follow. So you have to calm the body first. Take a slow, deep breath, relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, put your hand over your heart. Something I like to do when I am in that freak out and having all these sensations, I like to touch something cold. Like I'll touch a frozen meat or I'll grab a bag of ice because it shocks your brain to realize that, oh, everything's okay. Anytime I am having like an anxiety freak out type of situation, I'll touch something cold and it usually just shocks my brain to like think of something else. And I'm usually fine after that. If I don't have access to anything cold, I mean, I usually do, like, especially now it's winter, I could just step outside. But you could just put both of your feet flat on the ground, feel the weight of your legs. Tell your body, we are not in danger. We're just uncomfortable. But uncomfortable does not mean unsafe. Now, once the body calms down, your brain gets the message. You gotta ask yourself, what do I actually know for sure? And be honest. Most of the time, the answer is literally, I don't know anything yet. That text is not proof of a breakup. That silence is not a proof of rejection. That delay is not proof of failure. Your brain is just guessing, not reporting facts. The question brings up reality back into the room. You need to separate facts from fears. I always tell people to do this on paper because your brain will kind of try to mix them. Facts. He did not text me back. Fear. He doesn't care about me. Fact. The interview ended. Fear. I did horrible. Fact. My boss was short with me. Fear. I'm fired. These are not the same, but your brain blends them until it feels like a truth. Give uncertainty a boundary. You do not have to sit in the discomfort forever. Give it a limit. For example, I'll revisit this thought in 30 minutes. I'll check my phone again at 5. I'll think about this after dinner. Your brain loves structure. It calms down when you set that mental boundary. Replace that story with a grounded truth, not a fake affirmation, not a delusion, a grounded truth. I don't know what's happening yet. Not knowing is uncomfortable, but I'm still safe. My brain is reacting out of habit, not reality. These grounded truths soothe your mind. Redirect your attention. This step is huge. You cannot sit in the same spot feeding that spiral. Do something physical. Clean a small area. Take a walk. Stretch. Take a shower. Cook something. Fold laundry. Go outside. Your attention is the gasoline. Remove the gasoline so that spiral cannot burn. Now, let's talk a little bit about how to build a healthy relationship with uncertainty over time, because it can be really hard and you will never be able to eliminate uncertainty from your life completely. And you don't need to, but what you need to do is build a tolerance for it. So think of it like an emotional muscle. You don't get stronger by avoiding the weight. You get stronger by lifting enough weight to challenge you, but not enough to break you. Every time you sit in discomfort without reacting, you are building strength. Every time you let something play without forcing control, you are building trust. Every time you say, this feels uncomfortable, but I can handle it, you are rewriting your nervous system. And slowly, that uncertainty that used to knock you down doesn't anymore. You pause instead of panic. You breathe instead of spiral. You wait without assuming the worst. You trust yourself more. You need reassurance less. This is actual emotional maturity. This is self-regulation. This is what makes you magnetic and grounded and calm in situations that used to overwhelm you. This new version of you, the version who does not crumble when life is unpredictable. I know this is all way easier said than done, especially for me. I know for sure because I know I struggle with things being uncertain. I hate not knowing, and I'm preaching, oh, like, cope with it. I'm trying. And that's all that matters as long as you try and learn how to cope with being uncertain. Because the thing is, I know that I'm not always going to know things. I know, for example, a text back is not, oh my God, you hate me. Like, that's not how it is, even though my brain thinks that. But it is a little difficult to kind of flip that switch. But as long as you're trying and as long as you're understanding why your brain thinks like that, it's a little bit easier to flip that switch a little bit. Because ever since I studied these topics, it started to make me think like, wow, maybe I am reaching a little bit. Maybe I am overreacting a little bit, but my brain is just like that. And so many other people's brain is wired like this. Maybe not everybody. Some people just don't give a fuck. Like some people just have that mentality where they just don't care about things as much as other people care about the littlest things. But as long as you're learning, as long as you're trying, you'll be able to be okay. So you need to stop thinking you're in danger just because you don't know what's going on. And I know things are scary. Everything is scary. Anything new, anything unknown is terrifying. But just because you don't know something doesn't mean you're immediately in danger. Uncomfortable does not mean danger. And I know it feels like that. I hate being uncomfortable. It's awful. It really is awful. But I need to remember I'm just uncomfortable. I'm not hurt. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm standing here. I'm sitting here. I'm all right. Just a little unsure of what's going on. All right, y'all. I want to leave you with this. Your brain hates uncertainty because it thinks it's doing its job, but you are not living in danger. You are living a life that is growing and shifting and stretching you. The unknown is not a threat, it's a doorway. You just need to trust yourself enough to just walk through it. If this episode spoke to your soul at all, send it to a friend who spirals. Save it if you spiral. Post a little clip on your story and tag me and message me what topic you want next because I will talk about literally anything because I just want to help you guys evolve. I want to teach you what I'm learning. I just want to put that all out there because I'm actively learning about the human brain. And I find it very interesting. And I really want to share what I'm learning and how it relates to an everyday person. And I want to implement all the psychology into my life and I want to help you implement it to yours. I love you so much. I am so proud of you. You are doing better than your brain gives you credit for. And I will see you in the next episode. Sorry, today's episode was a little short. I feel like I just covered everything fast. I feel like I was talking a little fast today. I did have hella caffeine, but this is a little shorter than my usual episodes. Not by much, but some. But I feel like the length of the message isn't as important as the strength of the message. So I don't want to just fill it with silly stuff to just have a longer episode. I want to get to the point, give you the knowledge that I'm learning, and I just want to help you. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.